Welcome. You and I raised you, Joy. This is the Pickoff Show. This is the fantasy baseball slash White Sox baseball show on the channel. This is Ray the Barber here as usual with my guy Eric, and we're going to start the week off and start the new month off with the hardest position, the premier position, which is the shortstop position today. But before we get started, Eric, say what's up to the people, man.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I didn't even think about being like a new month, but this is the most dynamic position, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, not only that, young and like game changers in this thing. Like every fantasy draft you're going to watch, 3 of these guys or 4 of these guys are going. I mean, maybe 5 in the top 10.
Maybe 5, definitely. If you're in a 12-man league, you're going to probably see 4 of these guys at least every time.
Yeah, in the top 10, just go.
In the top 10, gone. Yeah. And that's
if you don't get one, I feel like you're behind a little bit.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Like if you don't have one of these top 10, or not even that, there's some honorable mentions we're going to talk about, but the top 10, like they should be everyday guys. Like you should have one of these guys every day on your roster.
Hopefully. I mean, it's tough to compete here if you don't, because if you're looking, everybody knows who probably 1 and 2 are going to be. Mm-hmm. You're talking about 30 guys, 100 runs, 100 RBIs, 90 runs, like 90 RBIs. Like if that's hard to catch up, giving that up. It's hard to catch all that up.
Yeah, we know. We were just talking about that, Caleb. So what? I don't care. He said Paul Skeet and Scooba on the same squad as Nuts. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm just glad that when you guys set up the league, Caleb, because I really wasn't around, that the starting pitching isn't that important in our league.
Yeah. Right.
Because your staff is ridiculous.
Yeah, we're talking about our home league, the Scumbag League.
And then the other league, we'll get to it too.
We'll get to the other league, yeah.
We took a trade, and I took some heat from Doc on the trade, but we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good time. I mean, shit, we're a week from pitchers and catchers, and once pitchers and catchers report, then
you're like what, 2 weeks from games, roughly, or something like that. Spring training games and
spring training games start on the 20th.
And we still, we just finished that monster scout to stat line 30-man 56 rounder with 900 prospects deep, and you and I still got to do the big one, the one that we're going to segue into right now on the NBC. So no, it's fun.
A lot of fantasy baseball.
I love it, and I love it, and I know you do too. I know we both had long weekends or whatever, and I'm just saying, like, I'm happy to spend this hour with the people and you just talking about baseball.
Yeah, let's talk about some baseball. So, I mean, let's just get into it, because this one we're going to really be trying to talk, because like there's a lot of quality people on this position. Like shortstop is just like
loaded.
It is the premier position, not only for fantasy, but it's in baseball in general. That's the general of your infield. That's probably your most athletic guy on the team. That's probably the sickest arm on your team. This guy is just the most talented guy. And you got 30.
Yeah, and one thing I think that's important, I mean, maybe it's not important, but I'm going to say it anyway. The shift in baseball, this used to be a defensive first position. Mm-hmm. All the analytics, all the stuff, all the deal, this is your most dynamic player, to your point. Defense takes a back seat. Some of the guys that Mac shared a post about Ozzie Smith. It was awesome to watch. Like some of the glove work or some of the stuff he did, but realizing now that Ozzie Smith wouldn't even probably make a team because he hit so little.
Yeah, he hit 240.
In today's game. Like Andre Simmons. Was it Andre Simmons? Was it Andre?
No, you
shortstop that was around that had the most amazing glove that can't find a job these days. Like, but he was like,
it's not Andre Simmons.
It's not Andre. What's his?
No, you're talking about. He had that long first name.
Yeah, but you know who I'm talking
I know
about.
you're
That was
talking
like
about, yeah.
premier, like
Yeah.
defense
Yeah.
for a long time. Andrelton, was that it?
A drill. Yes, that sounds closer to it than that. It's something like that. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It,
but yeah, I think this is him here. But like, just was a defensive wizard that like
yeah,
couldn't
he
hit a
could.
lick.
Yeah,
But
and that's kind of like Orlando Arcia is holding on to his job in Atlanta because of his glove, because they have so many other pieces. But he couldn't probably start on 15 different teams.
right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying? Because
right.
like he just doesn't hit the ball like he should, But that's just baseball in general. In fantasy though, like RC is not even a thought in fantasy for a 12 team league.
Yeah, if you're
Unless
talking
he's a
about,
backup,
yeah,
if he's a backup, like a 12 team league, no, 15
he
team league.
probably isn't even rostered, to be honest with you. In a 12
Yeah,
man, you get our
yeah,
30 man, of course he's rostered, but a
yeah,
12 man, he's probably not even rostered.
yeah. 15 man team, he's probably on the roster backing up.
Depending on what your eligibility is and how easy it is to
Yeah.
have some of the multi guys, which we'll talk about that too, he's probably not rostered.
Yeah, but but that's what I'm saying. That's the dynamic. Arcia is in Atlanta, just surrounded by talent, and he doesn't really need to hit.
He anything he gets is a bonus in that team.
Right. So let's what we're talking about this week is the let me just get my bandage together here. I'm all tweaking right now. All right, so we're gonna be doing the fantasy baseball shortstop rankings. Okay, so the ranking is top 10. We really could have done a 15, but we're going to keep it at 10. But we do have some guys to talk about. And the one guy I wanted to start the whole show with is a guy I've always liked. His father was an MLB guy. He was a perennial all-star before last year. I don't think he's ever hit below 280. If you don't know who I'm talking about Bo Bichette. I think he has a big bounce back year this year. I'm not sure exactly. He had like 300 at bats. He was still hampered from his injury. But I think that Bo Bichette is going to be Bo Bichette again, and you get a healthy Bo Bichette, you're the Toronto Blue Jays are going to enjoy having Bo Bichette back, adding Santander, possibly going out to get hopefully, maybe we'll see it. He'll get Luis Robert from us.
Yeah.
Vladdy. So they made a couple moves. They do have Jimenez. They got them Jimenez from the Guardians.
Yeah, and they've been in on Bregman too from some of those discussions that I've heard. So
yeah,
we're talking about every team finding their niche. They're going to be that Santander, Bregman, the guys that are 29, 30, 31 looking for that one last contract. I think that's Toronto's niche, and I think that's where they need to play. But
yeah, so just speaking of Bo Bichette, so last year Bo Bichette hit 225. He never hit 225 before. 227, 332. He's projected to hit 280, right? Around his norm. So his years, he's been in Toronto since 2019. Eric, check this out. 311, 301, 298, 290, 306. And then last year, 225. So he's going to come back.
You would assume he comes back, right? I mean, this is the wild card of the predictions because he could be a top 5 or 6 shortstop. But if he repeats last year, like, yikes.
Yeah, I mean, we got to give Bo Bichette the benefit of the doubt. He had half a season, but he only hit 4 home runs. He only came across the plate 29 times, and he only had 31 RBIs.
Well, you already know what I'm going to say because I'm going to tell you the same thing that I always say. The thing that scares me about Bo Bichette is he chases and he don't walk. So he's a pure bat to ball guy. He's been awesome. He's at it. But the second that struggles, you see what you saw last year. Looking at his walk rates, you're talking 6.6, 3.9, 5.8, 5.9, 4.5, and 6%. He does not walk at all.
Mm-hmm.
So he's vulnerable to swings. He's vulnerable to seasons that even though I know he was injured and some of his stuff, but once that hit tool goes or that bat to ball struggles, whether it be an injury or whether it be something, it's hard for him to fall back on something because of his chase. But he could be very easily a top 5 shortstop. I mean, in 2021, he had 29 home runs, 121 runs scored, 102 RBIs, and 25 stolen bases.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, the talent's there. And you know the drive's going to be there. You know last year didn't sit well with him. You know that for sure.
I was watching the Tim Anderson interview. Tim Anderson was, led the league in hitting.
Similar profiles. Chaser, great bat to ball, similar profiles.
Similar. That's what I was trying to get to. Similar things. TA said he just lost the feel. He got hurt and he just couldn't find it.
Yep. And it's hard for those guys to fall back on something because they're relying on their pure athleticism and their pure bat to ball skills. And if they lose that, you see what happened at TA. You saw what happened to Bo last year.
Yep. So, I mean, we're going to see. I think he's going to bounce back. We shall see what happens. I don't know. I think that the Blue Jays need him to be Bo Bichette again.
Yeah. Well, and I think he's going to have a big chance because having a down year, teams aren't going to – how do I want to say this? With that lineup now, and they're not done, I don't believe, to your point, they're not going to shy away from Bo. They're going to go ahead and come at him. So he's going to have a chance to bounce back on that side, I believe.
Right. Because you got Vladdy.
But this is a guy. Like, what do you do here? Where do you draft him at? And what are you getting when you do?
I don't know. Where did he go in our 30-man league? Did he go like 8th round or something like that? I want to say he went like 8th round or something.
I don't know where he ended up going in per se, but I mean, somebody took a chance. I mean, he's still relatively on the young side, right?
Yeah, he's like 28. Something like that.
Bo Bichette is only 26.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, so, I mean, like, he should have 4 or 5 years here of, technically what they call your window. But it's a risky pick.
Yep.
But there's big upside here. And I know you like him for possibly comeback player of the year. I know you do.
Say Bo Bichette is 26 with a 43-year-old body. He's fat. I don't know what Justin's talking about. Yeah. And we're not going to welcome Lindor back to your team because you're just going to trade him away again. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's like
somehow you managed to make your team worse again. You're down to like 29% hit tile. You only got 29% more value you can possibly give away. Like, best of luck.
Yeah. So, all right. So, honorable mentions. We're going to start with Bryson Stott. Honorable mentions at shortstop. Okay. This is all our honorable mentions at shortstop. These are guys that we like. Bryson Stott is a 2 eligibility guy.
Yeah, so we should clarify here. Like, he doesn't qualify for the big league normally because he doesn't have 20 games in, but we let him off of second base and we didn't. But most of your home leagues, he'll qualify. I think he played like 12 games at shortstop last year.
Something like that, yeah. I thought
so he couldn't make our top 10, but we felt going through the whole entire infield and not at least missing him, Stott was –
we have to mention Stott.
So we're throwing him in here, even though he doesn't qualify. He played 14 games at short last year.
There it is. So 258, 323, 387 is what they're projecting.
So this is another bounce back guy, right?
Yeah.
That supposedly plays something in his hand. I know last year was one of his down years comparatively to where, the year before came. He had a 101 WRC plus year before. Last year came in at an 88. He basically couldn't slug.
Nope.
Is what cost him there. So.
Oh, breaking news. MLB umpire Pat Holberg is fired for sharing betting accounts with a professional poker player and friend who bet on baseball. Damn.
Yep.
MLB don't play that betting shit.
Dude, they kicked they suspended. We were talking about him the other day in our chat. They suspended the Popeye Jose Rodriguez, the old White House guy, for betting $700 for the year on games that he wasn't even involved in. But they kicked him out for the whole year.
Yeah.
But listen, Stott, listen, 95 percentile don't whiff, 87 percentile don't K.
Yep.
In 2023, which led him to his success last year going over. He still was 90 and 82. So, and he runs. He had 32 stolen bases last year.
Yeah, they actually projected him for almost 30. They're projected for 29.
At least when we're talking about the top 2 or 3 guys, and you guys all know where they are, at least Stott's a guy that can get you probably close to even in their stolen base total.
Right.
And I would say he's going to hit probably 20 to 25 less homers than those guys, but you're going to find a way to make it up there. But he can at least match the elite guys on the stolen base side.
Right. Next guy. He's a Cubby, Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a little more as a player than a fantasy guy, but we had him on our team last year. And he finished the year pretty strong. I don't know the second half numbers off the top of my head, but I know that he finished the season a lot. I know he started off just awful. And he ended up finishing pretty good. But he had 16 home runs, 19 stolen bases last year. I don't know. What are they projecting him at this year? Do you got him?
I do. Hold on. I got it right here. I just got to pull up that. I got to pull up that page on my. He's damn it! What the hell?
By the way, it's awesome now. All of the ranking systems are finally out. When we started this, there was only like the one.
Yeah,
now, they got a half a dozen are out.
Oh yeah, they got the zips, the bat, oopsie, all that.
Bat X is out, ATC's out, Steamer's out.
Yeah, so they got Dansby 245, 315, 400, 21 home runs, 15 stolen bases.
Yeah.
But here's this is where his value is: 79 RBIs, 83 runs. So
it's just anybody else in any other position to put up that line would make the top 10. Just happens to be at the wrong position. He ain't gonna make the top 10. I mean, you're talking. I see, Steamer's got him 19 and 14. I see 21 and 15. I see a 22 and 16 stolen bases. Like, I see anywhere from 76 to 88 runs scored. I see anywhere from 70 to 79 RBIs. Like, steady. It's going to put up the sheet, or whatever. Like, if you don't get one of the elite guys, at least you know what you're going to get here. He's been pretty consistent throughout the years.
Right. Well, here comes another consistent guy throughout the years, but he's older now, and Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah,
I mean Xander's honorable mention, but I mean I wouldn't be mad at somebody running Xander out every day.
Yeah, another guy that's kind of declining. Just terrible contract that we're trying to move. I think he's owed for another 10 years or 11 years down there.
Yeah, in San Diego.
He's already 32. But I mean, he put up a 36 percentile xLeg last year, only a 28 average exit velocity. But he don't chase, he don't whiff, he don't K, but he really don't walk either. But he's on the backside here. Last year was 11 home runs, 13. I know it was a partial season.
Yeah.
But again, he's going to have to get back to hitting 280 to think about sniffing the top 10. 2023, He was a 19 and 19 guy, but he hit 285. He hit 307 in 2022. But being 32 years old, knocking on 33, are those days behind him?
I don't know. Starting to look like it.
Kind of look like it.
Though they got him projected for 267, 334, 5. 17 bombs. 77 runs, 73 RBIs, 14 stolen bases. I'll be shocked if he steals 14.
Yeah, I think his health is going to be a main thing. I know they're going to try to shove him into shortstop because they have roster problems there in San Diego due to terrible management, which if you've been a fan of the show, you don't have to go very far to go back to the clips to tell me how dysfunctional the Padres front office has been for a few years. And right now, they're hating their lives.
All right, and so for the last honorable mention is a guy we just traded for. He's young, really, really young, and he just has to figure out how to not swing at bullshit. Like that's his only problem. But when he connects with the ball, he rips the cover off of it.
Yeah.
He had a great year last year, and where he's at, he's the cornerstone of the team. They signed him to an 8-year contract last year. We're talking about Ezekiel Tovar. The Rockies believe in him. I had him in fantasy for like a year and a half. I love Ezekiel. He Ks too much. Like 200 Ks is a lot. Right?
Ton.
Yeah.
Especially in our league when it counts against us in our home league. Like in our new league, it does not count against us. But
and another thing about the Padres is a good point. It's a good point. And we're not really talking about real baseball right now, but this is a good point. If they trade King and Cease and they don't have a shot versus the Dodgers, it's the truth. Like, I don't know what the Padres, they're just they put themselves in a hole and then they can't.
Listen, they went and handed out all the money, all the stuff, and they made these terrible contracts. They made terrible moves. I mean, they gave up Soto for 1 year to turn around and flip him again. And now they're in such a jam. To Gonzo's point, the only two players that have a whole bunch of trade value on their team is King and Cease, and they're on 1 year. They're in their last years of their deals where they're going out to free agency. So you can't even get a ton here. Like,
it's bad. Maybe
they dug themselves a hole. They absolutely dug themselves a hole. AJ did it to himself, and I took a lot of heat throughout 4 or 5 years ago telling everybody what a shitty front office AJ was running, and guess what? We saw it coming. Here it is. Like, they said they would give a top prospect and Xander if somebody would just take him. Like,
and they lost profile.
Yeah, they couldn't sign him. They couldn't even come up with 1 year, whatever, or the 3-year deal that he got in Atlanta. They couldn't even, and he was arguably
their best player,
type guy. He was had a great year for him, and he seemed to fit the San Diego thing too that they had going on down there. Yeah. No, it's a hot mess.
Hot mess in the San Diego. Anyway, and they just so happen to be in the wrong division with the D-backs and the Dodgers. So,
and they try to go all in. They try to make some deal, and now they could have had they had a decade run of talent, and they just offed it all to go get Soto and try to put. It's my least favorite thing. They tried to band-aid this team together with this talent and hoping that they could get over the top, and they didn't get over the top. And now it's like rebuild, dump everything, start over.
Insane. But Tovar, let's
go Tovar. We traded for him. Listen, you said it. Like, he's 23.
Yep.
And we'll talk about the heat I took later for the trade that we made because we traded prospects, and some people, whatever. Prospect huggers, maybe value-wise, tip over the calculators. But listen, he's a 23-year-old starting shortstop that hit 26 home runs last year. And Chase was 1 percentile, absolutely the worst. 8% whiff, 10 Ks, and he only walked at a 2 percentile. So even if he can't improve on any of that, you still get a 26 home runs. Guy to hit 269, 270, which is above major league average. Slugged 470.
I think he had.
If he can somehow, to your point, I'm not asking him to become Juan Soto and never chase. Just move that number from a 1 to a 10.
Right.
Just go up 9 points.
Yeah.
And you're looking at a 300 hitter. Whatever. He stole 11 bases 2 years ago, only 6 last year, but he's got double-digit speed in him too. Like, in a 30-man league, when we didn't have a shortstop, like, we were going to use Matt McClain because of his duel, but he might lose that this year.
Yeah, he might.
That's the reason why we made the move. But I think it's honorable mention, but there's nobody after the heat that I've gotten for the trade that I'm rooting to move these blue numbers just a little bit here.
Just a little bit, yeah.
And Tovar.
Yeah, and they got him slotted for 261, 296, 446, which is you see what I'm saying? 261, but 296 OBP. right?
Yeah, because he don't walk at all.
Yeah.
He's allergic to him.
Yeah, they got him slated for 9 steals, but then 87 RBIs, 85 runs, 24 home runs.
Again, he's 23.
He's 23, and we have the in the home league we have extra base hits. He hit one of the most in the whole league last year.
He did,
right?
He
like
did.
Doubles, like insane amount of doubles.
I don't even know. I think I got it right here.
Actually. And then
45 doubles.
45 doubles. Look at that.
Yeah.
So then on top of that, in our the 30-man league, right? We got runs created. Think about all the sack flies and things like that get added into runs created. So So that's where his value comes in.
And like I said, and I'm just going to harp on it because I'm going to harp on it again later. He's 23, and all I'm asking him to do is to move. You don't have to be a brilliant baseball mind to be like, hey, the kid swings at too many pitches and he strikes out too much. I don't need him to improve it a ton, just a little.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. How about our top 10 starts with a guy even younger than him? How about that?
Oh,
our top 10 starts with a guy even younger than that, right? And this guy really is the opposite of Tovar, where he don't chase, he walks, he doesn't K, and he has power, he just hasn't shown it. But then he also has other tools, and we're talking about Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn is our number 10 shortstop in fantasy, because he's just now touching the talent that they're going to get out of him in St. Louis. He is just I've had Mason Wynn now. I love Mason Wynn. I love watching him play the game. I think the power is they projected him higher in the last couple weeks. He's coming into the year when they started doing projections. He was slated for 13 home runs. They bumped him to 17, right?
Yeah.
So right now they're looking at 263, 319, 414, 17 home runs, 66 RBIs, 85 runs, and then they have 15 stolen bases. But that's what we got to talk about with Mason Wynn.
The reason why he made the top 10 was some stuff that we had been following that he came out and mentioned he wanted to get somewhere between 30 and 40 bags.
Yep. And he has the speed to do it. And we have the history of him doing it in the minors.
Yeah. So, he stole 43 one year, 32 another year.
Right. And
so he wants to run more, and he's been working on the condition. If you're talking about you give Mason Wynn, they got him anywhere from 14 to 18 homers, and you're going to give him 30 or 35 bags on this deal, and he's going to hit 260, and he walks right around league average, 7.3 2 years ago, 6.4, maybe a little less. But yeah, the 40 bags, 35, 40 bags had us intrigued. So we threw him in a 10 spot here.
Yeah.
Being, again, I mean, I know this isn't Dynasty, but talking about a guy that wants to improve, he's 22.
He's 22 years old. Like that's the thing. I really like Mason Wynn. I really do. I think he's amazing. And I think they're going to get a lot out of him this year. And we shall see what happens. So let's move on. Here's a guy with all the potential in the world. Got a little distracted last year. Got in some heat. Got sent to the minors. But at the same time, the kid is solid. Okay. CJ Abrams.
Yeah.
CJ, came to Chicago and decided he wanted to, go gambling.
Yep.
so, got a little heat, for doing that. But CJ is slated to go 253, 313, 425, 19 home runs, 67 RBIs, 82 runs, but 33 stolen bases.
Again, 24 too.
24 years old.
You got to hope that he learned, but he's got 50 base stealing potential.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got 25 or 30 home run power in his bat. There's no doubt this could be a guy that can move the needle. His highest home run projection is 21, and his highest stolen base projection is 38. but he stole 47 2 years ago. And he hit 20 last year in, 138 games only. So
he did? I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
He hit how many last year?
He hit 20 in 138 games.
Wow. I didn't know that. When I look at the projections that I'm doing the show, I don't really like look up. I just kind of like just fill it in. Right. Sometimes I'll catch it, but so you're saying that wait a minute. Let me go back up. So you're saying that last year he hit 20 and he had okay. Only 100. Why did he only play that little bit?
They sent him down.
Oh, that's right. But it was that. I thought it was like only like a week or two left in the season.
I mean, he was hurt a little bit too, I think. But yeah.
Okay. Because I'm just like, wait a minute. Because I thought it was only like 2 or 3 weeks left in the season when they sent him down as like a, hey, get your shit together. We watching you type situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. But CJ is number 9. I really like CJ. I think you like CJ. And 34 is floor for his stolen bases.
Right.
33, I mean. That's floor, honestly. Like he steals. He reminds me of when Corbin is on base, he's gonna go. It's just wait for it. It's coming. Right? He's gonna go. Bobby Witt Jr., same thing. He's gonna run. So all right. So from a guy that used to run a lot, that still kind of does, but really doesn't run like he used to. He's older now, but he still got that bat. And then as I was doing the projections, I was like, man, Trey is kind of low. For his projections. We got Trey Turner 8.
I mean, it's a loaded position, but you hit the nail on the head. The guy's got all the speed and the base talent in the world. I think at one point he was 35 for 35 in stolen base attempts, but for some reason they don't like him to run in front of Harper. I had him on my team last year, and he just didn't run. He had 32, 27, and 30 stolen bases. Last year he only had 19.
But here's the thing about him. I think the injuries have caught up to him.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're comfortable with him at 8, because how many games he played last year?
He played 121 only.
Okay. And then again, the year before that?
He played 155.
Oh, I thought he played less than that.
He played 160 the year before that. But, looks like a lot of the people got him at 23 and 23, 280, 330. He don't walk a ton either. 455, like on the backside of the deal. But if you're talking about projections, I could argue, and we did argue, that I could put CJ Abrams above him.
Right.
I mean, I know I'm going to beat this 23 stolen base total, and I'm not convinced I can't meet the 23 home run total. Now, I do like the 280 average if you're in a batting average league, but we left Trey there out of respect for potentially what he could do. But for some reason, he didn't run last year. Could be a health, could be Harper don't like people running in front of him. It could be, you got to understand that some of these teams now are smart. They're playing for October. They don't care about stealing a bag in July. And stealing bases is one of the leading ways guys get hurt.
Yep. And like you said, they just didn't run them last year. And it's probably why.
Right.
Hey, Trey. No, we don't need you hurt. We need you for September.
Right.
We need 100%. You for September baseball. Right.
100%.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Number 7. So here's another guy that's starting to creep over the other side of the mountain, right? But he's still talented. And injuries are just robbing this guy. Injuries are robbing Corey Seager. There's just no way around it.
Yeah.
Corey Seager projections 282, 360, 512, 28 bombs, 80 RBIs, 78 runs, only 2 stolen bases.
Yep. He don't run at all, but he does have 30 home run potential. Yep. I see, he only played 119 in 23, and he only played 123 last year. So injuries has been, to your point, has been a big problem with him. But he could hit 30 or 35. But Texas has already came out and said Simeon's playing less this year. I promise you, Seager's on the same deal. They're
Yep.
trying to win right now. They want these guys healthy. So what's he going to get? 130, 135 games. But, he can hit 300. He's done it 2 or 3 times. But, again, 30, less deals, don't run. Not a decent, better walker than the last few, but still not huge, 9%. He's here because he's probably should hit in that lineup, playing 130 games, 31 or 32 home runs.
Somebody doesn't like it.
Yeah, but I mean, his team is all the same players. Like this guy is, it's him. This is
we said 35 bombs incoming. We shall see.
He's never hit 35 in his life, so I would love to bet against that, Caleb, if you would like to. But 33 being his peak point, and that's when he played 151 games. But he's here, 280. He's here for the power.
Yep.
That's it, because like you said, he don't run at all. And with his injury problems, he ain't going to be running.
Nope. So I'm comfortable with him at 7. Like when we did the list, I was just like, yeah, that's because you want to put Corey Seager just off merit, him and Trey. You want to put them higher. But then when you look at the guys above him, you're like, no, I can't go into a draft and have Corey Seager and Trey Turner above the guys at 6 through 1.
Right.
Can't.
There's no way.
No. So speaking of 6, Willie Adames.
And you're gambling only on Seager that he hits home runs.
Yep.
Because he brings nothing to you in the stolen base department. So if he don't hit home runs.
Yeah, he's only affecting 4 categories when he could be
his home runs is going to give him his RBIs and it's going to give him his run scores. If he don't hit the home runs, no value.
Yep. As opposed to Willie Adames, who starts us off with this is where it starts to turn up a notch. As far as 6 through 1 is where I think that there's a separation, right?
I agree.
6 through 1 is a separation. And Willie always had the potential. He just realized it last year and got a fat ass contract because of it.
Yeah.
He moved to San Francisco. The ballpark that he's in now is not as friendly as Milwaukee, but he's gonna still get it over the wall. I mean, if you look at Willie Adames' spray chart, it's gonna be okay. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to cost him a home run or 2 moving to Oracle, but he's got the power. I mean, this isn't going to hurt him. And he ran a lot last year, 21 stolen bases, most that he'd ever put up. And we'll see what happens in San Francisco if he continues that or whatever. But he walks a little bit better. His OBP is decent, 330 last year. My only question here with me was, I probably shouldn't, but I do. I have a red flag when a player comes out and it's the year before he's going to be a free agent. All of a sudden, he has a banner year in his career year.
Right.
It makes me question things about work ethic stuff. How come you steal 5 bases, 8 bases, and all of a sudden now you steal 21?
Yeah.
It makes me question things. Now that you got a fat paycheck and guaranteed money in MLB, are you repeating this? Are you motivated to do it? Or last year, were you a little motivated to get that check that you just got?
Yeah, we shall see. I think him moving to San Francisco and Buster being his GM and then their manager is a players type guy.
Yep.
I think it's going to be good for him.
I think he'll be fine. I think
he'll be fine. And I don't believe Adames is lower than Trey or Corey, Caleb. So let's leave that there. So I mean, these are our rankings. If you disagree, go in the comments, say so.
Of course you can. But I mean, I don't know how you could argue a guy that hit 32 home runs and 21 RBIs compared to Corey Seager is how Seager could ever be above him.
But at the same time, he's gonna hit for a less average as far as projection is concerned, right? 244.
Yeah. But he's got a less batting average, but the OBP runs a lot closer because he walks more than Seager does. But
and then he's gonna get you runs and RBIs and stolen bases. So
93 runs, 112 RBIs last year. I don't know. I'd have to go back, but I don't think Seager's ever put up those numbers. Let me look. Seager, most RBIs ever was 96. Most runs were 105, and that was in 2016 with the Dodgers.
God damn. Been
He's
a long
only
time.
54, 91, 81, 60. There's no way you can rank him above Corey Seager.
Adames.
Yeah, Damas. I mean, Damas is better. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Number
Top
five.
five. This was a tough one.
This was a tough one, but we had to go here. We had to. Only because the next guy is, you have to put the next guy.
You got to remember, this is 1 year only. So if anybody's watching this for Dynasty or whatever and freaking out, like, no. 1 year only.
Yeah,
1 year.
1 year, and this is 1 year where the categories have to be a certain way.
Yep.
Right? But if this is Dynasty, Ellie is.
Yeah, Ellie's higher than this, for sure.
Way higher. For sure. Yeah. But this is 1 year. You got the 5th, 6th pick in the league that you're in, and you're like, who do I go with? Ellie is a good choice.
Yep.
Yep. So but as far as projections, 258, 331, 466, 26 home runs, 85 RBIs, 101 runs, but 54 stolen bases.
Yeah.
He's going to run. He's another one. He's on. He's running.
He creates.
He had 70 last year, some crazy shit like
67, and he creates the runs. Like the run total. I'll never forget. There's a video out there. We should have probably clipped it, but he stole 3 bases and 2 pitches at one time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he can literally, if he gets on, he's usually going. If it's not a home run, like he's usually off to the races. There's not much you can do about it, and
that's the thing. And I said it all last year. Like the Reds were a shell of themselves without Friedel McLean.
Yeah.
Friedel McLean and Ellie on the base paths is fucking what made them so fucking dangerous and so fun to watch in 2023.
Yeah, and now they got Tito down there as a manager too, so that ain't stopping.
Right. Yeah. Because their manager, he's gonna run them. Terry gonna run. So it is what it is. So you got Ellie. Might get a 70 season out of him this year.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
What if that motherfucker steals 85 bags? That would be insane.
You're talking about a guy, there's some weeks in your head-to-head, he'll win it by yourself. He can steal 7 or 8 bags in a week.
Yeah. Yep.
Given the right circumstances.
Yep. So, but he might even hit 30 home runs. It's just that he has to stop swinging that bullshit.
Well, I'll tell you the Oopsie one. The Oopsie's got him for 30 home runs, 101 RBIs, 100 runs, 94 RBIs, and 54 stolen bases. And he's number 5 on the list.
That's Oopsie?
Yeah, that's Oopsie.
Yeah. Oopsie is generous. As I was doing, I was like, Oopsie is just like.
Yeah, they're a little more positive than some of them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we're using the FGDC.
Yep.
So, all right. So number 4. So they don't know what the fuck they want to do with Mookie, but they got so much talent, and Mookie's so talented. Mookie's going to play shortstop again.
Yeah,
and he's going to play every day at shortstop. But it's Mookie Betts.
Right.
280, 374, 495, 28 home runs, 94 RBIs. 109 runs, 15 stolen bases. Like, it's Mookie.
And what's one of my favorite stats to look at, and if you're out there, you should pull it up. But if you go to the Fangraphs page and you look at Mookie and you look at his walk percentage versus his strikeout percentage, he in 23 he walked 13.9% of the time and struck out 15.4. Last year he walked 11.8 and struck out at 11. He walked more than he struck out.
That's crazy.
He's going to hit 280. His on-base percentage, they got him anywhere from 380, 374, like almost a 500 slug. Like, you're going to get, 25 home runs, 15 to 20 stolen bases out of him. Like, your OBP leagues, it's why he's above Ellie. and that it's just because of his average and his OBP.
Yep. Yep. But this is the thing. When we did the rankings, I was kind of like, maybe we should move Mookie up. But I left it like it is because I want to hear the reason why we got these two flip-flop, right?
Well, he just don't quite run like he used to. You're looking at 15 stolen bases.
Yeah.
You're looking at sub-30 home runs. Now, don't get me wrong, the OBP and the 280 and the 380 OBP, because of the way that he walks, is valuable. And he'd be a little more valuable in our home league because he don't K.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got to remember, we're supposed to be basing this off the FBC, so that's why I ended up putting him in, had him here at 4.
Yes, because the next guy is Lindor. We got Lindor at 3.
Yeah.
But his projections are lower.
They have Lindor projected lower from which aspect? Can't be from stolen bases.
No, not stolen bases. Just everything else.
It can't be home runs either, is it?
It's yeah.
They're
the same.
28.
They're the same.
23.
Yep. A little bit less runs.
A little bit less
RBI
on the average.
So it's like the stolen bases kind of like, teeter it. Because I think he's going 30-30.
Well, he was 30-30 in 23. He was 33-29 last year. I know the projections got him at 28 and 23, but I don't know how you're docking him 5 home runs from the year before. I mean, I know that
he's going to do more. He's going to do more because they have to watch freaking Soto.
Yeah.
He's going to do more. So that's why I was like, I'm going to leave it like it is because the projections to me seem off. You have Soto behind him.
It's just tough for me that a guy that hit 273, 344, 500 last year was a 33 home runs, 29 stolen bases, 107 runs, 91 RBIs when he was the offense. And now to your point, they're going to have a guy behind him they're going to have to worry about. Like, it's hard for me not to think that he's not 30-30 again.
I don't know. I left it as is. I was like, because I was going to call you and say, hey, let's move Mookie up. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, no, these projections for me is not taking into account that what did Lindor hit last year? 2 or 3 or 1? Did he lead off?
No, I think they hit him 2 a lot.
I think they hit him 2. I think they had what's his name leading off?
Nemo hitting 1 a lot. But I mean, when I was doing this and I sent it over, it was like I was good. He did 29 stolen bases last year, 31 the year before, and they got Mookie somewhere between 15 and 17. And I think I get the same amount of power. So, like, I put Lindor here. Would I be pissed if somebody said, oh, my God, Mookie's better? No, of course not. I mean, this is obviously tough, tight spot here. But, again, back-to-back basically 30 years is tough to argue with.
But you know what? They lost. Maybe they're taking into account that they're not re-signing Alonso. So he won't get as many runs.
Could be.
And maybe that's what it is.
I know a lot of times these projections, they got they hate anybody over 31. Like, that's kind of like their deal. 31, They start tacking like an age discount on him. Maybe he's getting a little bit from that, but
yeah. So I'm just trying to see. No, so playoff they let off Lindor. Nope, let off Lindor. All the playoffs. I'm just going back and looking at some of their roster construct because they same manager and everything. Lindor, Nemo.
You can look at splits too on here.
No, Lindor leads off.
Splits. It'll tell you, like from the batting position position right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Batting order, batting first.
Yeah.
He hit first. He led off. 109 games at about. Yeah, 109 games of the 150 some he played. 2/3 of the time.
So that's what I'm saying. So you got
It'll
him.
be Lindor, Soto probably.
Right. So it's like you have that. I think that's why I'm saying the projection to me has to take that into account. That Soto is behind him and not Nemo, right? Because it used to go Lindor, Nimmo, then Lonzo, and then Vientos or Beatty or Winker. It just depends on how they constructed that day. But at the same time, it's Soto now. I keep saying that because he's on our team, and I really like having Soto. And I fell in love with Soto last year because of all the shit 9. I'd be like, I'm Soto. So I said, let me just go see what 9 sees. And I saw it, and I was just like, holy shit, this guy's amazing. This guy's a fucking amazing. Like at 19, Oppo power all over, like just he's
in the World Series setting, and it didn't even bother him.
It's sick.
He's disgusting.
So when we do outfielders, I can't wait to see how we do outfielders. It's going to be fun. All right, so Lindor, we're done with Lindor. Look, hey, look at this. This is funny. So in our home league, Lindor has just been passed around. He might get passed around again. They're talking again right now, Eric. So look, it's the guy that goes back and forth between Duke and Justin.
Yeah, listen, it's Duke and Justin are unserious fantasy players. Like, whatever. Fine. There's no rhythm or rhyme. They just fucking trade the same guys back and forth. They don't have any vision, no goal, no structure.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's just like,
and then he just declines.
Eventually Justin gets robbed by Duke, and Duke goes up in the rankings, and Justin goes further down. That's essentially what happens.
Yeah, and he declined my trade. Duke did.
He sent me one. I countered. He declined it, but him and I will be wheeling and dealing here after the pod here.
He overvalues players. I don't like dealing with Duke.
He starts off stubborn, but I don't blame him. But Duke and I have made some deals too. Like, we might have a chance to get there. We'll see. But
we'll see. I might send him a better deal. Anyway, number 2.
Everybody should know this. This ain't
okay. Yeah, 1 and 2 should be easy.
Yeah, everybody knew that coming in, right?
Yeah. So Gunnar Henderson. Let's not even play with it. 274, 359, 505, 31 home runs, 95 RBIs, 108 runs, 17 stolen bases.
Yep.
It's Gunnar. He's gonna steal 25. At least. Yeah. He's
23.
And what, last year? He stole 23 last year?
No, I'm saying he's 23 years old too.
Oh yeah, he's 23. Yeah.
He's still learning. No, he stole 21 last year.
Yeah, 21. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's got 40 home run potential. He hit 37 last year, scored, like you said, 118 runs.
Yeah.
Walked 10.8 for a 23-year-old, solid.
It's Gunnar, man. Gunnar is just he's good. He's good. Fucking good.
Now he's another guy that, like when we were talking about earlier, like defensively, not the best, but anymore they're putting bats on the field versus gloves. So
yeah.
But he stole 21 bags last year. Was only caught 4 times. So there's no reason that he couldn't steal more.
Yeah. But number 2, he's number 2, and he's number 2 for a reason.
And he'll be top 3, top 4 pick in every draft, whether you're doing 1 year or whether you're doing dynasty.
We did the 30-man dynasty.
He went third.
He went third.
We were going to struggle about taking him or Soto if they both would have got to us.
Yeah, we had the 4th. We had the 4th pick in our league, so he picked Gunnar because we was going to take him.
That left us with the choice of Ellie or Soto. We ended up we went Soto.
Yeah.
But 155 WRC plus last year. What's
the next guy? Number 1 guy. We already know who that is.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. is the best shortstop in baseball. The best shortstop in fantasy baseball.
168, by the way, Mr. Witt last year. WRC.
168 WRC?
Yeah.
Shut up.
He's made for that ballpark, man. He's made for it. 332 he hit last year.
And they got him projected for 292. What was his on base last year?
389, but he don't walk much.
Well, but they got him projected 348.
Yeah. So you and I talk about long times. We would love to see that 100-point split. You're looking at like a 50-point split here for Bobby. So, like, obviously, if you're asking somebody to bet, you're betting against him repeating this performance last year. But even at what they got him projected at, it's crazy.
Did he did did he slug almost 600 last year?
588, up from a 495 a year before. Like insane.
Eric, this motherfucker slug 588.
588 last year. He had
That's
45
stupid.
doubles and
That's
11
stupid.
triples.
That's stupid.
He had an insane year. Insane. Obviously, like I said, he's probably not capable of repeating this line, but even if he does 85% of this line, it's an MVP type year.
That's stupid. 588 slug is insane.
Yep. For a shortstop.
But then again, it goes back to what we said about Tovar. Same amount of doubles, probably close to the same amount of triples. Hold on, let me just see, because I he was up there in triples too. Tovar had some triples last year.
Did he have?
He had some triples.
Bobby had 11. I don't know what Tovar had.
Let's see. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna see. Tovar had triples last year. She only had 4. Okay. Well, 11 is crazy. Yeah, he had 4.
Oh, I got it. What did he have last year?
Yeah, he had 4. 45 doubles, 4 triples.
You got to remember though, I don't think that Tovar's got Bobby Witt speed. Bobby Witt might be the fastest guy in baseball. Yeah, and 2, playing in Kauffman Stadium is triples, made for triples.
Insane.
Biggest outfield I think in the league are right there. That or Oracle probably.
Bro, that's so fucking sick. Like just his line, his projected line alone: 292, 348, 523, 30.
Well, when you're going through and you're trying to the whole key to fantasy baseball and the whole thing is who do you think is set up to go back forward? Who do you think is set up to go backwards? Who can beat their ADP? Who's too overvalued at their ADP? That's some of the science. And you look at what Bobby Witt did last year, and you're like, there's no way he can do that again. But then you're like, all right, let's trim it. Well, they still got him at 30 home runs, 108 runs, 101 RBIs, 32 stolen bases, 292, 343, 523. That's trimming. That's trimming.
That's like changing the ceiling down to the floor.
Yeah.
Right? That's like you're coming from the ceiling, you're going to create a new floor. What's his new ceiling going to be?
Right.
That's insane.
100%.
Yeah, he's just sick. He's just sick. So as a recap, let's recap our top 10. Number 10 was Mason Wynn. Number 9, CJ Abrams. Number 8 was Trey Turner. Number 7 was Corey Seager. Number 6 was Willie Adames. Number 5 was Ellie De La Cruz. Number 4 was Mookie Betts. Number 3, Francisco Lindor. Number 2, Gunnar Henderson. And number 1 is Bobby Witt. Dude, did you see what happened last week when we did our catchers ranking? And then what's his name? Eric Cross did his ranking.
It's the top 7 was almost the exact same top 7.
Yeah. And I was like, hey man, stop cheating off my papers. He was like, "Yeah, we're good." He said, "How could you not do it like that?" This makes sense.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it lines up. Up.
So Eric, we did finish our so 30-team head-to-head dynasty league. Draft is completed. Full roster is up. We're all the way up. I'm gonna share the screen. This is it. This is the Pickoff Show roster. You've seen it a couple times, everybody, but we did add Austin Slater and we did add Ezekiel Tovar. So, this looks a lot more better than what we had. Seth Brown in that ballpark, playing in the little kitty ballpark. We're hoping for a good, decent year from him.
Yeah.
And we shall see. We waited a long time to get a first baseman. And but it was the strategy dictated how we moved and then how the board fell. So, the strategy was to try to really go big on OBP, and then on the pitching side try to keep up. So, but I like our lineup here, our roster. If you look at projections, right? 337, 293, 362 for Donovan, 345 for Muncy. And then, we can make up for the 294 for Tovar, but he's going to give us all this other shit, right? 347 for Robles, 357 for Schwarber, 423 for Soto, 341 for McClain. And then all these guys on the bench, look at that. They give us value, right?
They got all the random. I can't see it on here, but
you can't see
what? You didn't share it, but
oh, I'm sorry. Damn, I'm talking and it's not up. Why you didn't say nothing, E? Damn it.
Well, you were on such a roll. That was so smooth.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to
on the bench. Yeah. Multiple position guys, so we can feel this is a head-to-head league. Guys that can play multiple spots.
Yeah, we got all these guys right here are basically utility. And yeah. Kevin Newman is probably going to be the everyday third baseman because their third baseman doesn't like baseball.
Well, you got to remember too, shortstop's hurt.
The shortstop's hurt, and their third baseman doesn't like playing. No, Neto's not hurt no more.
I don't think Neto's supposed to start the year.
Well, stop it. No, I ain't seen that. I have not seen it. Hold on, let me just check. Hold on.
I don't. For some reason, he got right shoulder surgery in November.
Oh, he did.
And he's like, he could miss the start of the season. So, I think Newman, like you said, could start it short, could get some deal. Well, we all know.
Yeah, he's going to get burned at third regardless.
They have at third base. And, you and I are convinced, and I believe that we're right, that the White Sox are going to trade Luis Robert. And in doing so, I think you're looking at everyday at-bats for Austin Slater is the reason why we picked him up. We did take heat. Listen, I'll tell everybody we traded away pitcher for Texas, right? Rocker.
We traded away Rocker, and we traded away.
And we traded away the guy that kind of came out of nowhere, become a mega prospect. What was shortstop for the Brewers, right? Why can't I think of his name?
Jesus May.
Yeah. We traded him away from Tovar.
Yeah.
So I know the dynasty calculators are upset about it, and I know some of the prospect guys are upset about it, but when you look at our roster now, we didn't have a shortstop. Not that we couldn't have played McClain, but that would have been it. And he's going to
we would have been playing Newman.
We're playing to win now.
Yeah, we would have been playing Newman or Bosley.
I might end up hating it. Maybe May ends up being a huge stud in 4, 5, 6 years down the road, but we're playing to win now. And if you look at that roster, that offense is supposed to get us there.
Yeah, our offense now should get us where we want to be.
Now, our pitching is weak, but listen, I don't know if Nine's on here, but did Nine join us?
No,
I know Caleb's here. He'll get this too. Our innings pitched a week are only 20 innings mandatory on this league. So you look at, and we're counting holds and we're counting saves. So look, we got Devin Williams and Miller. And we got 4 or 5 setup guys. Like, that's how we plan on getting to our innings. We have to start 2 guys, but we're going to look for favorable matchups out of that top 5 situation.
And then this one is one that's going to go up, right? Because of how they deploy their bullpen in Detroit with Cannell, Tommy Cano. He's going to get more looks in Detroit.
He's going to get some. The guy wants him right now. We're talking about trying to trade for maybe an outfielder.
Yeah, he's got a fucking disgusting.
We can trade from there, but
we
have
a disgusting changeup too. It's nasty.
That's the only pitch he throws, pretty much. And there's nothing they know it's coming. There's not much they can do. And we got Lopez, who's going to arguably, he can compete for the saves spot. I mean,
Yeah, in
for the
Washington,
closer
yeah.
spot there.
Yeah.
And then we got a little bit of help coming out of the minor leagues. If you look at our starting pitching, I think Mason Adams will probably get some
Jake
starts
Bloss.
this year for the White Sox, and Bloss will as well.
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, this is a full roster. 30-man team or 30-man league. And we look, 30 minors, 7 reserves, 19 actives. It's a full fucking
Yeah,
team,
we got one guy on the bench, Lopez.
Yeah, one guy hurt. Yeah.
And what's interesting about this league, and I love it, is genius, is tonight at, I think it's 11 o'clock Central or right around, the minor leagues lock.
The minors lock up. Yeah, you can't
all the way until next year's first year draft. So, like, no going out and stealing the guys that blow up from the DSL that have big seasons, and no going up and stacking them. Like, you got to go on to, you got to wait till next year to do anything in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad Doc let us in. And now you and I got to decide when we want to go after the big contest, probably the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. So Caleb said it makes sense. He saw it. He understood it.
Yeah. I mean, he'll get it. Nine would get it too. Only having 20 innings.
Yeah.
Try to win saves and holds and keep your whip down.
Yep.
And that's 3 of the categories. And good luck beating our offense. Like, that's the plan.
Good luck. Yeah, that's the plan. And that's why we drafted the way we did. It was we had opportunities to pick like better offensive guys.
100%.
But it was important to we went Williams and Piamps early.
We went Williams and Mason Miller and Devin
Williams.
Oh,
yeah, Mason Miller and Williams early. It was like 9, 10 rounds.
No, earlier, 4th or 5th round or something.
Shut up. It was that high?
That high. Had to. I mean, you're talking 30 rounds. You're talking about taking them 120th, on the deal. Like, once we missed our starting pitching run, I wasn't going to chase. We decided we're not chasing and starting pitching. I'm not chasing. You guys got a leg up there? Fine. We're going to get a leg up in the bullpen. So, we went Mason Miller first because of his age, and we came back and got Devin Williams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got Miller 4th round, Williams 5th round. We went Donovan, and then we picked up DJ. Now, DJ Hers is interesting. I think that kid is special. You think he's special. I'm glad you
I saw somebody, too, put him out for 200 Ks.
Yeah, they put out like a little like a
little long shot bull prediction deal. Somebody put out 200 Ks before him or whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad you listened to me. It's like, yo, get DJ right here. Because you know what? No, we got sniped. I remember now. We had Lodolo coming up.
We wanted to get both.
Yeah, but Lodolo went like a pitch pick before us. That was fucking bullshit.
Right.
But yeah, we got sniped. Yeah. And then I think that Urban and Abbott and Myers are just young guys that need to show up. And we shall see.
And we're going to Myers, we're going to try to play it the right way. Try to find a matchup or two. We got to start. We have to start 2. But we're going to be able to run out bullpens every single night that are going to pitch, rack us up 3 or 4 innings, or whatever. So, that's our plan anyway.
That's the plan. So, shout out to Scout the Stat Line guys, Ross, Doc, Shanks, Owen. Yeah, shout out to those guys. They're really good guys. Thanks you guys for having us in your league. We're going to talk about it every week, especially once the league starts. Who we got fucking week 1 anyway? Let's see who we play.
I think we play the Canada flag guy.
We're playing the Canada flag guy?
I think so.
Let me see. Yep. We are playing the Canadians.
Maybe we should put a tariff on them. Charge them.
Let's take a look at this. I want to just. I never looked at this team. Let me look at this team. I think I have looked at this team, but let me just kind of get a good idea. Let me see if he's cooked or not. Hey, Canadians, GAN Canadians, if you're watching, and I know some of the guys, are watching from the Discord. If you're watching, let me just get to it and see what you're looking like. Oh, so he's got Wilson Contreras, Jonah Bryant at first base, Andres Jimenez at second, Solano at third, Lindor. That's gonna suck. We go they won they're off, so we can't play Tovar. They're not playing till Friday. So make sure we update that. Winker, oh, he's got James Wood. Ooh. Xander
Yeah.
Bogaerts and Jacob Young. Ooh. Okay, so Ronel Blanco.
And he's got real strong starting pitching. He's got
Yes,
Webb,
he fucking
Reagan,
does.
Gallen,
Yep.
Blanco.
And yep. Estevez, Joyce, Presley, Yemi, and Foucher. Should be interesting. It should be
He's
an
got a nice little
interesting.
squad. He's got a nice little team. Compared to some I've looked at, he's got a good little team.
This is gonna be a good week to see how the year starts.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna warn everybody too. So some of the guys are watching, we're gonna piss you off more because we're gonna trade some more of those prospects too, just so everybody knows. So get ready.
Right. And in the home league, Eric, you got a little semifinal rematch, and I got a semifinal rematch to start the year off.
You're playing Caleb first week?
I'm playing Caleb week 1, and you're playing Mac week 1.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't wait. This is we're only like 6 weeks away before we start.
Yeah.
Actually,
I mean, it won't be long though. Like I said, spring training games will be here before we know it.
No, March 27th is opening day. No, yeah.
I don't know when that Tokyo series is.
Yeah, I think the Tokyo series.
Like second in the middle of the month, I think.
Let me see. I think it's the 24th. I want to say. No, it ain't that. Huh? 20. I don't know. When is that shit?
I feel like it's early.
Oh shit! March 15th.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks before everything else or something.
March 15th. Dodgers Cubs. Oh shit! I gotta do commissioner duties. Did we set that up?
I think we set it up that way, but we better double check.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for sticking with us as we just over here shooting the shit. No real Sox news other than the fact that Zach DeLoach has been DFA'd.
Yep. They brought back Maya, right?
They brought back Maya.
Yeah, they needed a shortstop. They don't have one, so I mean, it made sense.
Yeah, and so we don't have any other movement with the Chicago White Sox as of right now.
I mean, on the Sox stuff, pay attention to Robert. I've heard his name now a couple more times. I heard that Toronto had checked in, and I heard that Cincinnati was close, down there at one point. So he's going to move at some point. And then you'll probably see another reliever or two, or some of these 1-year deals still. Same thing we've been saying since day one.
Yeah, I'm hoping Toronto pulls the trigger and gets some. There's a certain prospect up there.
I know people. I'll give you a shocker one. It's outside the box, and I know people won't love it. But you know where he's an amazing fit? And when I heard they offered your guy, Santander, 3 years and $65 million, it's Kansas City. Can you imagine his defense and Kaufman in that spaces deals and him playing down there? And they got the prospects to pay. I know they don't want to trade interdivision, but it's only 2 years, 3 years. The White Sox are that away from competing. I mean, and if the Royals had $20-some million available to give to Santander, they got it available to give to Robert.
The Royals made a phone call.
Supposedly to Santander, not to
okay.
Okay. But they offered Santander 3 years and $65 million. So they have $20 million a year, which is pretty close to what Robert's deal is. So it got me thinking, and they got some prospects down there that would be enough. I know interdivision trades are tough and you hate it sometimes, but
I just want the White Sox to get their hands on Orelvis Martinez. That's it.
Yeah.
Send Orelvis and I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Blue Jays make an offer. Hey, make an offer. Make sure you include Orelvis.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a ton of sense for him.
Or the Phillies. We still on the Phillies. If the Phillies just want to come off one of those guys.
Yep.
I'll take Stalin.
Somebody's going to, because here's what happens. Cincinnati didn't end up with Robert. They ended up signing Hayes.
Yeah.
Now your fallback is like what, Bader? For like a possible center fielder? Like,
yeah,
somebody's going to pay the ticket for Roberts. It's just a matter of who.
We shall see.
I still think the Mets, because I think they got to help Soto. And especially if they don't get Alonso, which sounds like some of that stuff's crumbling, like how else are they going to help?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what we're just talking about. The White Sox, are they done? Don't think so. Robert still has to go.
I think he ends up going kind of like Cease did. Yeah. After spring training kind of got started, some stuff or whatever. Like, but.
Yeah. So, once again, we're a week away from pitchers and catchers. And once that gets started, baseball is back. And we can't wait.
Yeah. So, hey, home league followers, your money's due too. Put it in.
Oh yeah. Make sure home league.
We can start our draft, but we should get the money in.
Yeah. Home league, we need y'all to pay y'all dues. All right. So thank you guys for watching.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna cut the lights off, and we'll see y'all next week. I hope, maybe next week for sure. Probably, more than likely next week.
Be.
Yep. All right. So thank you guys. We're gonna cut the lights off in here. Thank you guys.
All right.